Nightline begins now with me, Raymond. The top story. Millions of Malaysians display patriotism in the spirit of Keluarga Malaysia. Good morning. After 2 years of lockdowns and restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Malaysians were thrilled to celebrate the 65th National Day at Dataran Merdeka on Wednesday. More than 70,000 people from all walks of life, including foreign tourists, arrived at the city centre as early as 4:30 a.m. to attend the National Day parade and display their spirit of patriotism, togetherness and unity. With the theme Keluarga Malaysia Teguh Bersama, the large-scale, colourful celebration kicked off with the arrival of Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah and the Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Aziza Amina Maimuna Iskandaria on a royal horse carriage at around 8 a.m. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, members of the cabinet, diplomats and foreign representatives and dignitaries also attended the celebration. As soon as the King and Queen took their place at the royal box, 5 helicopters did a fly-past accompanied by the national anthem. Al-Sultan Abdullah was then given the royal salute and then invited to inspect the Guard of Honour mounted by 4 officers and 103 members of the 1st Battalion of the Royal Malay Regiment. This was then followed by the singing of the national anthem and the hoisting of the Jalur Gemilang, which was accompanied by a 14-gun salute. 65 representatives of various races led by national sprinter Muhammad Azim Muhammad Fahmi then recited the Rukun Negara, which was then followed by shouts of Merdeka 7 times. This year's celebration also featured a special colour guard performance on Keluarga Malaysia Teguh Bersama by 600 secondary school students. The main event was the parade and march past by nearly 20,000 participants of various contingents, which showcased components of nationhood, frontliners, governance, public order, national security and Malaysian family. In the public order segment, the frontline contingent attracted the attention of the crowd with the participation of health workers from the Health Ministry and security personnel from the Royal Malaysia Police PDRM. For the national security segment, the Malaysian Armed Forces ATM excited the crowd with a demonstration on rescuing hostages by its elite force. The parade also involved a total of 369 land assets as well as 76 animals in service. Air assets belonging to the Malaysian security forces were also displayed in an air show, including the A400M and C-130 Hercules, belonging to the Royal Malaysian Air Force. Kuala Lumpur's airspace also roared with the sound of fighter jets and other aircraft, including helicopters belonging to the ATM, Police, Fire and Rescue Department and Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency. A total of 650 participants from 33 government-linked companies and the private sector, as well as floats carrying various mascots of local animated characters such as Didi and Friends and Bo Boy Boy, also enlivened the parade. The theme song for Keluarga Malaysia concluded the event. Meanwhile, the excitement of celebrating National Day was evident on the faces of Malaysians who thronged Dataran Merdeka after 2 years of celebrating the occasion under the new norm due to the pandemic. Many who came were clad in traditional clothes and Jalur Gemilang-inspired outfits while waving the national flag to show their patriotic spirit as well as love for the country. For a number of people, it was also their first experience attending the National Day Parade after only seeing it on the television screen.
Umur saya dah 45 tahun tak pernah hadir ke Dataran Merdeka. Pada tahun ini saya terdetik untuk hadir kerana kita dah lama tak menyambut Hari Kebangsaan dengan penuh meriah macam ni.
Although some spectators said they were at first a bit reluctant to come to avoid the large crowd, in the end they did not regret the decision as they were able to witness the festivity and merriment firsthand at the iconic square.
Harapan saya satu je, sebab kita negara kita berbilang kaum, So kita harap kita akan kekalkan bimbingan kaum ni sampai bila-bila. Kita pupuk negara ni supaya bekerjasama, kasih sayang dan sentiasa terus maju ke depan lah.
Saya harap Malaysia bertambah baik dan semua rakyat Malaysia cuba sedaya upaya untuk mengharumkan nama Malaysia, and Malaysia is the best. I love Malaysia.
Aside from locals, foreign visitors also took the opportunity to witness the National Day Parade and join the celebration.
It's an amazing celebration, and to me, as an expert here, I don't feel I don't feel strange, or I don't feel like I'm an expert. I feel like I'm a Malaysian guy, to be honest. So yeah, I'm enjoying here, celebrating with the people.
The 2022 National Day was celebrated in high patriotic spirit not only at Dataran Madeika, but also other parts of the country. In Perak, the state-level National Day celebration in front of Dataran Bandaran Ipoh, attended by 15,000 people, was graced by Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, and Raja Permaisuri Perak, Tuanku Zara Salim. A total of 95 contingents and 6,200 participants joined in the parade and march past, including flag bearers, staff of various government agencies, and members of the security forces. In Kedah, the National Day celebration started at 9 a.m. after the arrival of the Sultan of Kedah, Al-Aminul Karim Sultan Salihuddin Sultan Badli Shah, and Sultana of Kedah, Sultana Maliha Tengku Arif, at Dataran Medan Banda in Alor. The celebration began with the inspection of the main guard of honor, followed by a choir performance and a parade of 115 contingents from various agencies, departments, educational institutions, and security forces, witnessed by more than 20,000 attendees. In Negeri Sembilan, some 10,000 visitors from various levels of society thronged the compounds of the Seremban City Council as early as 5:30 a.m. to celebrate National Day, and some even dressed in their best Jalo Gemilang-themed outfits. Yang di-Pertuan Besar Negeri Sembilan, Tuanku Muhriz Ibni Almarhum Tuanku Munawir, and Tuanku Ampuan Besar Tuanku Aisyah Rohani Almarhum Tengku Besar Mahmud also graced the celebration at 8:15 a.m. In Johor, about 6,000 people were present to witness the National Day celebration at Dataran Iskandar Puteri, which was held in a lively and colorful atmosphere with the participation of 131 contingents, pantomime, singing performances, as well as demonstrations by security forces. Menteri Besar Dato' On Hafiz Ghazi also joined a convoy of vintage cars from the pre-independence era during the parade and march past, which began at about 7:30 a.m. In Pahang, the state-level National Day celebration held at the Kuantan City Council's compounds was graced by the Regent of Pahang, Tengku Hasanal Ibrahim Alam Shah Al Sultan Abdullah, and also attended by Menteri Besar Dato' Sri Wan Rosdi Wan Ismail. In addition to the march past by the uniformed bodies, the celebration was enlivened with a patriotic song performance, a poetry recitation by Muhammad Al-Hamadi Abu Bakar, the grandson of Mat Kilau, the late Malay warrior, and a fly-past by 5 Sukhoi aircraft belonging to the Royal Malaysian Air Force. The spirit of patriotism continues to soar in East Malaysia, as evident from the achievements of Sarawakians and Sabahans who have taken the nation to greater heights in various fields at the international level. This was highlighted by Sarawak Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg at a state-level National Day celebration in Betong.
Anak Sarawak dalam arena sukan seperti Pandai Rinong dan Boni Penyau Gusti berjuang habis-habisan agar lagu kebangsaan kita negaraku boleh berkumandang di antara arena antara bangsa. Begitu juga orang Sarawak berbangga apabila pemain badminton berlubu negara iaitu Aaron Chia dan So Wee-Yik memenangi kejohanan dunia di Tokyo 3 hari yang lepas.
Various events were held in conjunction with National Day at the compounds of the Dewan Sukan Tan Sri Dato' Amar Stephen Kalong Ningkan. Some 1,000 people also joined in the celebration, which was also graced by Yang di-Pertua Negeri Tun Abdul Taib Mahmud. In Sabah, the state-level National Day celebration at Padang Merdeka in Kota Kinabalu was attended by Yang di-Pertua Negeri Tun Johar Mahiruddin and wife Topuan Norlida R.M. Jasni. Chief Minister Datuk Sri Hajiji Noor was also present at the celebration, which was enlivened by a cultural dance as well as choir performance and witnessed by over 1,000 people. The National Day was not just celebrated in Malaysia. The Malaysian community in Liverpool, United Kingdom, had their own way to keep the patriotism alive, a Merdeka street party. The singing of Negaraku and enthusiastic shouts of Merdeka also proved that Malaysian family ties among the diaspora was as strong as ever. TV3 correspondent Haliza Hashim has the report.
The Madeika Street Party on Jermyn Street last Sunday was attended by Malaysian professionals and their families, university students and senior citizens who had been residing in Liverpool since before the independence. Also present were Malaysian High Commissioner to the UK, Datuk Zakri Jaafar, and his wife, Datin Nur Aini Abdul Rahman, who praised the celebration of diversities and friendship among the Malaysian diaspora. Among the members of the community is 89-year-old Muhammad Nur Hamid, who first arrived in Liverpool in 1952, and it has been his home ever since. He now has 5 children, 13 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren. The Malacca-born had worked on a British merchant ship and is one of the last few remaining former Malay sailors who is still here to tell stories of his adventures both at sea and in countries around the world.
Hari ini saya sangat suka jumpa semua sekali orang-orang kampung saya dengan cucu-cucu, cicit-cicit semua. Saya juga megah pasal apa kita punya hari kejadian 31 Ogos kita buat ni hari. Saya memang bahasa Melayu, mak bapak saya punya keturunan mak bapak saya tak lupa.
This 3-story house on Jermyn Street was bought by a group of ex-Malay sailors in 1962 as their focal meeting place. The street party aimed to restore the glory of this community house, which was in need of repairs and refurbishment, to turn it into a center for activities among the Malaysian diaspora and temporary accommodation for students and visitors.
I do call for the support for a long time untuk kembalikan, untuk menjadikan rumah ni sebagai proper charity house. Ya, sebab saya gunakan untuk community sahaja. Dan bilik yang ada hanya 3 bilik untuk serve kalau ada keperluan orang kita yang nak duduk. Sebab saya nak surau, saya dah jadikan 1 bilik untuk surau dan 1 bilik untuk bilik air.
The gathering was also welcomed by the 2nd and 3rd generation of the ex-Malay sailors who expressed their pride of having a big Malaysian family. The Malaysian Community House on Jermyn Street has witnessed many historical events, including the adventures of the Malay sailors from the shores of Malaya. With the Madeika Street Party today, it continues to serve as a strong bond and patriotic hub to the Malaysian community here. Haliza Hashim, TV3, Liverpool.
Revitalizing Cyberjaya through a new master plan. Efforts to not only attract Malaysians, but the whole of Southeast Asia. How to ensure Cyberjaya remains relevant and competitive within the tech industry space. Challenges faced by investors. What are their concerns? What's the strategy to strengthen its position as a global technology hub? Money Matters speaks with Cyberviews and Vivian Berhad this Saturday at 5 p.m. only on TV3.
After the break, 11 killed after truck crashes at school bus stop. Stay tuned. Back to Nightline. At least 11 people were killed, including 4 children, after a truck crashed on Wednesday near a bus stop outside a school in Indonesia's West Java province. Authorities said the accident occurred when the truck driver lost control and veered towards students who were waiting at the bus stop after class in the city of Bekasi before crashing into 2 motorcycles and toppling a concrete communications tower. It was reported that the truck was transporting iron bars at around 10 a.m. local time when the driver crashed into the group of students. At least 23 others, including 14 primary school students, were also injured in the incident and taken to 2 nearby hospitals for treatment. Police said they were still investigating the cause of the crash and have detained the driver of the truck for further probe. Taiwan on Wednesday warned that it would exercise its right to self-defense and counterattack if Chinese armed forces entered its territory. As Beijing increased military activities near the island, Taiwanese defense officials said Beijing's intention of making the Taiwan Strait separating the 2 sides its inner sea would become the main source of instability in the region. Thus, the military will exercise the same right to counterattack Chinese drones that did not heed warnings to leave its territory after posing threats. Taipei had previously complained of Chinese drones repeatedly flying close to its small groups of islands near China's coast and had fired warning shots at the drones for the first time on Tuesday, shortly after President Tsai Ing-wen ordered Taiwan's Ministry of Defense to take strong countermeasures against what she termed Chinese provocations. In response, however, China's Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian said that Taiwan is a province of China and there is no Ministry of National Defense. Beijing, which claims Taiwan as its own against strong objection by the government in Taipei, has held high-intensity military exercises around the island this month in reaction to a visit to Taipei by U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Sports badminton, the 2022 Japan Open. National singles ace Lee Si-chia crashed out of the tournament when he lost to India's K. Srikanth in the first round on Wednesday, barely a week after suffering a last 16 defeat at the World Championships last week. Playing his match at the Maruzen Intec Arena in Osaka, world number 4 Lee lost in straight sets 20-22, 21-23 in 38 minutes. Srikanth now has secured his first ever win over Lee after playing him 3 times. The world number 14th was expected to meet either Wang Zhuwei from Taiwan or Japanese player Kanta Tsuneyama in the second round. Meanwhile, in a battle between Malaysian pairs in the mixed doubles event, independent pair Tan Kian Meng and Lai Pei Jing defeated Chan Peng Soon and Chia Yi Zi 21-10, 21-14. Tan and Lai will meet Taiwanese pair Yang Po Xuan and Hu Ling Fang in the second round. Turning to tennis, the 2022 US Open. Rafael Nadal made a winning return to the tournament with a hard-fought opening round victory over Australian wild card Rinky Hijikata. Nadal started the clash on a low note as he lost the first set 4-6. The 36-year-old Spaniard, however, found his touch again to seal a 6-2, 6-3, 6-3 win in the next 3 sets, improving his 2022 Grand Slam record to 20-0 as he tries to add another US Open to his Australian and French Open crowns. The second-seeded Nadal will next face Fabio Fognini of Italy in the second round. Fognini was dragged to a 5-set battle before claiming a 1-6, 5-7, 6-4, 6-1, 6-4 victory over Aslan Karatsev after 3 hours and 34 minutes. Also in the second round was Kwon Soon Woo. The South Korean defeated Spanish veteran Fernando Badesco 6-2, 6-7, 6-3, 6-3. Kwon moves on to face world number 11 Andrei Rublev of Russia in a rematch of their first round clash at the French Open earlier this year, won by Rublev. The 81st ranked Kwon has never beaten Rublev in 3 career meetings between the two players.
3 sets to 1. 6-2, 6-7, 6.
Still to come on Nightline, Datin Sri Rosmah files last-minute application to recuse judge. Details up next. Continues. A special officer to minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Special Functions, Dato' Abdullah Ahmad, has lodged a police report in regard to PKR Deputy President Rafizi Ramli's allegations that the second wife of the minister was involved in the littoral combat ship LCS scandal. Sentul District Police Chief ACP Bay Eng Lai said police would summon the former Pandan Member of Parliament soon to have his statement recorded to assist in the investigation. Bay, in a statement on Wednesday, said the report was lodged by the 30-year-old officer on Tuesday after the complainant read an article on Rafizi's blog last week, which allegedly was aimed at tarnishing Dato' Dr. Latif's image. The man also denied that the minister has a second wife who secured the multi-million ringgit LCS contract when he was then Deputy Defence Minister. Police checks later showed that the related statement was published on Rafizi's blog and his Facebook account on different dates. Rafizi on social media and in various statements had claimed that one Zainab Muhammad Saleh was involved in the LCS scandal and that the woman was Dato' Latif's second wife. However, Dato' Latif has twice denied that he has a wife by that name, but Rafizi has stuck to his guns and challenged the minister to seek legal action. The case is currently being investigated under the Penal Code and the Communications Multimedia Act. Datin Sri Rosmah Mansor filed a last-minute application to recuse High Court Judge Muhammad Zaini Mazlan from hearing or making a decision on her corruption case involving the 1.25 billion ringgit solar hybrid project. The application was filed on the grounds of the alleged leaked judgment of her case, which was prepared by another party. Dato' Sri Rosmah filed a notice of motion through Messrs. Akbadin & Co. on Tuesday, naming the public prosecutor as the respondent. In the notice of motion, she is seeking an order for a stay of judgment on the case, which has been set for Thursday, or any date after that until the disposal of the notice of motion in question or until the investigation into the matter has been completed. She is also seeking an order that with the self-recusal of the judge, the case should be heard, retired or decided by another High Court judge. She claimed that she was shocked when she found 2 articles published on a news portal, which stated that the decision for the solar case has been completed, and it was not prepared by the presiding judge but on behalf of the judge. After examining the 2 articles, Datin Sri Rosmah said she doubted the judge's integrity, as the document was prepared by another party, an act which contradicts the judge's code of ethics. She said the disclosure by the author of the articles was well-founded and authentic, as the Office of the Chief Registrar of the Federal Court did not deny the existence of the 71-page judgment. On Thursday, Judge Muhammad Zaini will give a decision on whether Datin Sri Rosmah will be acquitted or convicted on 3 charges of corruption involving the solar hybrid project. The 2022 National Day was celebrated with full excitement throughout the country. For the Pasiaran Mahogany Resident Association, the day was also filled with interesting activities aimed at instilling the spirit of patriotism among the community. Let's take a look at the celebrations as we wrap up Nightline this time around. I'm Raymond. Thank you for your company and happy National Day, Malaysia.